this is Alan here, and welcome to my channel. This is the day one of my zero cost becoming a YouTuber challenge. Today, I want to share some interesting Chinese ancient stories with you guys. Hope you guys can enjoy it. Let's get started. The first one is called Cao Pi Tou Guang, which means break the wall to steal the light. Okay, so the story is about there's a man named Guang He. Guang He was born in a poor family. He liked reading books very much. He needed to work at daytime, so he had to read books during night. But he was too poor to buy a candle, so it's not easy for him to read books during the night. One day, he found out his neighbor had candles, but the light couldn't go through his room. So he dug a small hole on the wall so that he could use the light to read books. From that day, he read books every night and until the light went out. However, he finished reading all his books and there were no books for him to read. Then he went to a rich man's house and worked for him without payment. The rich man asked, "Why don't you want the money?" Guang He said, "Because I only want to borrow your books." The rich man agreed. Guang He read the books one by one. Finally, he became a great scholar. And this is the second story. The story called "Close Your Ears to and Steal the Ring." I guess I don't know its English name correctly, so it's translated by me. Okay, this story is once upon a time there was a thief found a doorbell hanging on the neighbor's door. He wanted to steal it, but he knew that the bell would ring as soon as he touched it, and then it would be discovered. He thought only using ears can hear the sound. What if I cover my ears? Then the sound would not be heard. Then the sound would not be heard anymore. Whereupon, whereupon he covered his own ears and tried to steal the bell. However, he was discovered immediately when he touched the bell. This story is pretty funny because this stupid thief he thought he covered his own ears so the sound won't come out. So here's another interesting story. It's called Han Tan Learns How to Walk. So during the Warring States period, a young man lived in Shonli. He always felt that he was not so perfect as he thought. One day, he heard that people in Hantan walked in a gracefully way, so he decided to learn to walk there. One morning, he he set off for Hantan without telling anyone. Upon arrival at Hantan, he was surprised when he saw the situation. Everyone walked in a different and graceful way. Children walking actively, active, active, yeah. The old walking steady, and women walking charmingly. So he made up his mind to learn how the people of the state of Zhao walked in Hantan. No matter how hard he tried, he was unable to learn the gait of the people there. So, on the contrary, he even forgot completely how he walked in Zhongli. In the end, he had no choice but to crawl back to his hometown. I don't know if because I want to smoke right now, but I don't know if this microphone can get the sound of cigarettes. But I'll try because I used to see or watch some videos, ASMR videos on YouTube that other ASMR artists make some smoking ASMR. It's quite relaxing. So I guess I'll try today. Okay, let's get back to the stories. Oh, speaking of smoking, I I, I have a I do wanna share tell you guys some interesting facts of Chinese smoking culture. So maybe tomorrow or next time I'll make a video about Chinese smoking culture. It's quite different than many other countries. Okay, so here's the fourth story. Long ago, there was a young man who bought many fruits like pears and dates. He saw at the roadside to eat them. An old man saw him and said, "Eating too many pears is good for teeth, but bad for the body." The man asked, "How about dates?" The old man answered, "The dates are good for body, but bad for teeth." The young man thought for a while and said, "I've got a good idea. I can eat pears with teeth and don't swallow them, and I can swallow dates without chewing." Then he put a date into his mouth and swallowed it immediately. Unluckily, he was choked by the date. And here is the last story. In the state of Qi, there was a man who was haunted by the fear that the sky might fall. He was so warm that he could neither eat nor sleep well. His friends said to him, "The sky is scattered by gas living in the air, so it's impossible that the sky will fall." After hearing this, the man set his fear at ease instantly. His friend was also delightful. Oh, sorry. There is there are 10 stories in this article, so I'm gonna read all of them to you for you. And I wonder if you can hear voice on the cigarette burning. Okay, this story is in the spring and autumn period. The state of Wu and the state of Yu didn't get along well. They have been fighting against each other for years. People in each country also didn't have good relationships. One day, the people of Wu and the people of Yu happened to be on the same boat to cross a river. At the beginning, they didn't say a word with each other. When the boat sailed to the center of the river, a strong wind came. In no time, huge waves hit people's faces. It seemed that the boat would sink at any time. Just then, they forgot all the hatred between two countries and began to help each other, just like they were family. In the end, they safely got to the river bank under everyone's effort. The next story. During the Warring State period, there was a carpenter named Lu Ban. Lu Ban. He was good at making wooden tools. One day, a young man passed by a great gate. He held up an axe in his hand and said, "This axe is really good. I can make the greatest tools in the world with it." Hearing this, people around here all laughed. One person asked, "So, can you make a more beautiful cake than this one?" "That's so easy. I was a student of Lupan before. Making a similar cake is like a piece of cake," the young man said arrogantly. But the cake was made by Lupan, all people said. The next story. One evening, Chongda passed by a tea house. When he came back from cutting firewood, there were a lot of people drinking tea. He put the firewood outside and walked into the tea house. When he finished a cup of tea, he found his firewood on fire. Chowda shouted, "Oh no, it's on fire." He took a cup of water, ran out of the door, and splashed the water on the fire. Other people in the tea house also took their own cups to fight the fire. However, instead of being put out, the fire burned even hotter. In Chinese culture, this story it means um, small efforts cannot uh, affect the final result. You have to put more and more efforts so you can make a big difference in something, on something maybe. Okay, here's the last story. In the spring and autumn period, a man named he saw a toad along the road, whose forehead was in accord with the features of a good horse. Then he rushed into his father and told him he had found a good steed. Hearing this, Buller didn't know whether to cry or laugh. He had to reply. He had to reply jokingly, "This horse does too well in jumping, so his heart was to bring him." Basically, this story